Hi everybody, I'm Ryan. Today we're going to talk about the modern metagame with data taken from top 32s in challenges, 4-0 and 3-1s in prelims, and 5-0s in leagues. We're going to analyze it, do all that stuff, but I want you to understand that this is technically a winner's metagame because it's taken from top finishes, not necessarily everybody that has played modern, but should still give you a good idea of what you should expect to play against on Magic Online and at high-level events. Let's jump into it. The most popular deck overall in Modern it's labeled as Rakdos Midrange, but really it's Red-Black Scam, followed by Yawgmoth, and then by Burn. So let's talk about these three decks. Red-Black Scam, also known as Red-Black Midrange, is a deck that is attempting to scam your opponent out of the game. It does this in some simple ways and some time-tested ways, like Ragavan Blood Moon, especially when you Ragavan into a Blood Moon, and then some other things that are a little bit more powerful, like Grief, Undying Evil, or an effect like that. Take a card out of your opponent's hand, Grief comes back with a +1/+1 counter on it, take a card out of your opponent's hand, now I've Thoughtseize you twice, and I have a 4/3 with Menace. Or a slightly less powerful version, though can end the game very, very quickly, doing the same with Fury. I have a 4/4 Double Striker on turn 1, go, can you answer it? And while it's an extremely high variance deck because of the scam package, with the addition of Orcish Bowmasters, it has become a really leaning towards a mid-range plan. It has scam hands where it can just scam the opponent out of the game and just win like it always has, but now if the scam doesn't work, there's play. And as a deck, I think it's really important we keep our eye on because, spoiler alert, when we look at the top 8 metagame, it does not get any better about popularity. The second most popular deck is Dimir Control. I also like calling it Blue-Black Lord of the Rings because it plays 4 Orcish Bowmaster for the One Ring and is a control deck, plays counter spells and kill spells and everything that you would want. Also plays Sauron's Ransom, so just playing a bunch of Lord of the Rings cards and just showcasing the power level of these Lord of the Rings cards. Another deck that has taken advantage of the addition of Orcish Bowmasters is Yawgmoth. Yawgmoth is an Undying creature deck. It kind of uses this deck as a toolbox with Eldritch Evolution and Court of Calling, and has some cool infinite combos that can just end the game or just aggro you out with creatures. But again, with the addition of Orcish Bowmasters and the One Ring in a lot of decks, Yawgmoth has been tearing it up on Magic Online just with increased card quality. And the third most popular deck, which is a little bit of a surprise seeing in the top 3, is Burn. Burn is a deck that is exactly what it sounds like. You're playing red cards, white cards if you include Boros Charm, and you kill your opponent, burn your opponent down as fast as possible. This is probably because it's pretty resilient to the scam package from Rakdos Midrange, and that's why it's seen so much success. But it's exciting seeing one of the more traditional decks from Modern at the top again. So let's look at the top 8 metagame. These are the decks that came in top 8 of one of the 4 challenges this past weekend. And as we look at this top 8 metagame, it is pretty telling what is going on. By a giant margin, Red-Black Scam is tearing apart Magic. Followed in second place with a tie between Living End and Yawgmoth. We've already talked about Yawgmoth, so let's talk about Living End just for a sec. Living End is a deck where you cycle a bunch of big dumb dummies for 1, sometimes 2 mana. And then you cast a Cascader. The only card in your deck that costs 3 or less is Living End. You cast Living End for free as early as turn 3. Now, this deck has also gotten some huge power jumps from Lord of the Rings, specifically in the land cyclers. In Oliphant, or even better, Generous Ent. So now it can play less lands, which means more cyclers per card in their deck, which makes it more resilient to graveyard hate, makes more hands keepable, and just overall increases the power of Living End. And it's just been really incredible watching the power level of this deck increase. But that is the overall Modern metagame. If you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to like and subscribe, especially with a Pro Tour coming up this weekend. Check me out on social medias. Links are above me and in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.